Hi guys, Matt from Finatics here. I'm way behind on updating you guys on some of the oddball stuff that I've brought in. I've got a couple unusual suppliers I've been working with, like these guys here. So these guys actually were grown out locally. These are pink-tailed Celsius. There's actually two different types. They're large charson, actually a type of Tetra. Super cool. We don't charge a lot for these, just about $22 for the big guys. They like to be in a school. They can be a little bit on the nippy side, but super neat. Larger schooling type. Next up, I've got some African cichlids. Got a few different ones in recently. I'll get a smattering of what we've gotten in larger, what we call the assorted African cichlids. These are Moganis. Came in, so we grew them out. They're in the $11 class. This one's a smaller one. These guys are actually pretty good size. Here's another batch of them in here. These guys are really quite large on some of them, like that big yeller down there. I have big African cichlids. The mixed Africans, again, are just $11 here at Finatics. Nice variety in right at the moment. I've been getting in some really cool catfish. In fact, I've got some access to some of these guys that are super hard to get. This is a Megalodorus underneath the guy. You can't see them all that way. That's a Lineodorus. Both these guys are big armored cats that get absolutely ginormous. You can't quite tell in the photo here, but they get a bright gold on their sides. Super neat cats. In that same vein, we got in some unusual cichlids also from an unusual source. These guys are a type of chocolate cichlid or something very similar to. They come from a different river, different place altogether, but really a lot like a chocolate cichlid. They call them Bergerquina species Morado, but you can think of them as kind of an unusual chocolate cichlid. These guys are fresh imports. They're still pretty skitty, but they're actually fattening them up and looking good. Got in Altum Angels. These are the true Altums, not the Peruvian Altums. Got a great price on them, just $30 on these guys. Really neat fish. Of course, three different types of angels. So you got the Altums, the Scalera or the common angel, and then the Leopoldis. I hear we might get a chance at some Leopoldis and some other varieties of Altums as well. These guys at $30 are on the small side, but they shipped in really quite nice, and they're eating well already, frozen and live food. Unusual catfish. This is a jumper cat. Came in pretty skinny. I still haven't seen him eat, but he's fattened up, so he's eating something. I'm guessing he's either eating blackworms or some regular bloodworms. Another really unusual South American cat that are pretty hard to come by. These guys are true monsters. Great big teeth on them. They're in the Tetra family. They'll call them the vampire Tetra or the Paraiba. Somebody else correct my pronunciation. A large fish that is actually pretty challenging to keep. They eat a ton, need quite a bit of space, but a very neat predatory fish. If you have the right setup to keep them, we got actually a pretty good price on these guys. Got in a whole bunch of cool plecos. I'll start with this one here. This is a L190 Royal Pleco. Actually, they came in a bit of a mixed batch. I'm not even sure what all kinds we got. This guy here looks like a 190, but he's got a little bit of red in his fins. He might not actually be that guy. We think there was some a couple of different kinds like the L27s that got mixed in. There's another cool Pleco. This is a red Fin Cactus Pleco. Super cool. Large pseudacanthus. They get 10-12 inches. Rather expensive on these guys. I guess a couple $100 is not unusual for them. I think we've got, this guy is at $200. Nice size. A lot of times for $175 we'll get a tiny one that isn't eating. This guy's eating well. He's hungry all the time. Meat eater, these guys. Dopple Pike Cichlid. We've had these before, but never this big. This guy's got to be right about 12 inches, which is not full size for these guys. Really gorgeous magenta fins on this guy. Very nice fish. A big guy like this at $60, I think that's a pretty sweet price for him. Super cool, large pike cichlid. Alright, these guys here have been really shy. Got them scared out so you can see them. These are larger, wild-caught, true parrot cichlids. Real blue color, really cool, larger South American cichlid. They're not huge, large, not as big as a Severum, but beautiful fish. When they come in full size, or not full size, half size like this, they run about $50. So these guys are, in my opinion, some of the coolest fish that come out of the river. It's like one of them's kind of beating on the other. We also in this tank got in a jelly cat. Let's see if he's, that's where he's been hiding. Jelly cats are kind of very similar to like a gulper cat as far as they'll eat anything that will fit in their mouth, and everything fits in their mouth. They get up to about a foot. Hard to find friends for them because they get so big and they do eat stuff, but super cool, popular, even giant catfish. We got these guys in at 130 bucks, mildly spendy, not giant, but challenging to house catfish. Around in the last couple of years, you may have seen this guy. This is Frankie, the blue-eyed pleco. I don't think I can get a picture of his blue eyes because he's just showing me his mouth right now. Oh, they're there. Blue eyes. The reason I'm showing him now is because the supplier just got in a batch of giant blue eyes. So if you ever wanted 15, 18, 24-inch blue-eye pleco, now is the time to message me. I can get you hooked. I showed you those baby royals. This is a mid-sized thunder royal. We've had this guy for quite a while, but you can see just how nice these L27s can look when they get a little bigger. Remember, any of these guys can get up to 18 inches on different types of royals, but this is the L27 Thunder. Got a whole batch of gold nuggets in with this group. Crazy cool plecos. Mixed batch, actually. I think there was some 177s, some 18s, and some 81s. I don't think there was any 81N. Some of them had a little higher yellow to them. Still got several, though, that have been flying out of here. So if you're looking for a gold nugget, it's a good time to pick up some indiscriminate ones. Now this little fella is a gem. This is a spotted Medusa pleco. I really like the spotted Medusas. Usually when I see them on lists, they're kind of expensive. This guy came in about the same price as your standard Medusas at about 50 bucks. Plecos never really want to help me out as far as filming. This guy is L333. I'd ask for 66s, and 333s and 66s look an awful lot the same. They came in just about adult size. Really gorgeous pattern, almost like a Queen Arabesque pattern. So nice. A little more expensive than we get babies for, but for a full-size, well-patterned fish, I think they're pretty awesome at 60 bucks. And some quarries with this batch also. These are punctatus quarries. They look an awful lot like a network quarry. I also got some nanas quarries. I'll show you those too. Really hard to tell the difference. I almost wonder if they dipped out of the same tank. Nice quarries either way. Got a good price on them too. They came in at 6 bucks. Along with these guys, we got in these guys here. Kind of almost look like a cross between a Buenos Aires or a flame tetra and a black skirt. They got a write-up recently. They like to use these as dither fish for the aggressive predator fish. Let's see if I can get them in frame. They're call them a big-eyed Paraguay tetra, if I got the name right. Kind of an interesting guy, not particularly expensive. They're a $3 tetra. Just got a couple of them in. Looks like something we should be able to get on a regular basis if you're looking for them. Here's nanas quarries. These nanas quarries look an awful lot like those punctatas and also like the false Julies. They are a little different. They're a little more light colored, smaller speckled on. Super cool. And again, good price on quarries. I think this whole batch came in around 6 bucks each. So pretty interesting quarries for a pretty good price. Tetra Special is live and well. We've got in big bulks of our neon types. These are the green neons. Got a bunch of these guys. Came in a little bit skinny, but actually are looking pretty good right now. Small. Green neons usually come in pretty small, but nice batch of those guys on the Tetra Special. I also got regular neons, not particularly huge, but nice size to, or nice shape to them. About 3/4 of an inch, not tiny on these guys. Much better than the green neons as far as size go. Got a pretty good batch of them. Also got in cardinals, and cardinals are actually pretty good size. They're pushing an inch right now. Big batch of cardinals. Been selling out a ton of these guys. Got a batch of skunk quarries. These came in as arcuatus. Now whether they're arcuatus or the Peru grantees, I'm not 100% sure. But they were listed as arcuatus, so probably that. Not a lot of difference. There's a little bit of size difference between the arcuatus and the Peru grantees. I think the grantees are a little bit bigger, but that's these guys. And the pleco beat goes on. These are false zebras, or the Colombian zebras. They're the L127s. We got 127s and 129s in. These guys have great pattern for just 24 bucks. Nice looking fish. Also got some L56 Chubby Plecos. Got a pretty decent price on these guys at 30 bucks. Cute little buggers. They look like they should get really big, but they don't. They're actually a fairly small pleco. I've heard people call them a pine cone before too, though that refers to a different guy. Hard to see past all the swordtails here, but that's a chubby in the back. And another pleco. These are the L52 butterfly pleco. A lot of times I'll call them a chameleon pleco, also known as a flounder pleco. Like many fish, they got a lot of names. Super cool, smaller, omnivore. A lot of fun for small tank and inexpensive. We've been getting them for about 20 bucks. Super cool pleco. Tank bred bushy nose plecos. Got in a whole batch of medium gold bushies. Super nice for $13. A lot of them you can tell they're going to be boys. They already got some nibbles on them, so very nice batch. They're going quick though. Only got a few of them, about half of them left of what we got to start with just a couple days ago. These are dwarf Petrocholi cats. These are again tank bred here in the lower valley actually. Nice fish. Great add to any community tank. They only get up to about 2-3 inches max. Got a good batch of these guys. They go for 12 bucks a piece and super nice. So unfortunately, the guy who bred them for me has gotten out of the breeding cat business. So when I lose this batch, that's all we'll get for those, so we can get imports occasionally. These guys look like the L29s, but they're actually the L340 mega clowns. Sometimes, again, I wonder if they mix up the bags. It's hard to tell always, but mega clowns for 20 bucks is a great price. Sometimes those guys have been as much as 30 or even more. Really nice little pleco, about 4 inches on these, a little bigger than your regular clown. That's why they call them a mega clown. I also got in a huge batch of common autos. I've been selling autos like crazy, so our huge batch is about half what it was. But like to have a good stock on these, and I've got a supplier that's producing good quality fish, good size fish for us to be able to stock in mass quantity. I have a few of these Pictus cats left. They ran out real quick. We had some of the lined ones and the spotted ones. Came in nice and relatively inexpensive. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more from this source. Got a batch of local angels, some blacks that are actually pretty black, and then some of these guys are very blue. Like that guy there looks very much like an avatar. Mixed bag of blues. Lighting's not helping us there, but they are actually quite green blue. Very cool angels. Just 10 bucks on the baby angels that came in really nice. Got some other assorted angels with that. Last thing I'm going to stick on the back of this film is plants. We got in a great big plant order this week, and instead of going through each individual type of plant, I'm just going to do a quick scan on everything so you can just see how nice our plant order came in. Just cut in the middle row, lots of anubias and java ferns, lots of stem plants coming up here. Also got in a few pots, not a lot on that. Big double order on the Scarlet Temple. Told you I wasn't going to tell you what everything is, and I can't help myself. Got lots of crypts in. My ladder here so you can see all the crypts. And I'll pop down here. Sword tank has got a ton of stuff in there. We need to do a little bit of trimming. Some of the leaves are browned out. But in general, got a lot of great swords, some extra larges and some mediums and some regular larges. Quite a few bulbs in, tiger lotuses, and that's a cool crypt, that one. And a few different apons, really neat ones. That one, that caparoni, last one I've got of those, super cool. Got in some Madagascar laces, those went quick. Got a few of the apons left, and then got more on the vals and java ferns and sages. Been going through parrot's feather like crazy. Already went through more than half of what we brought in. Top tanks, stem plants. We got some high grows, a whole bunch of different high grows and bloods, talas. There's some water sprite, more java fern. Those java fern mats actually are really nice. You can't really get the feel for them until you see them in person. Nice big square Java fern for a good price. Whole bunch of plants in the stem plant range. I'm already behind telling you about all of them, but that's a good look at the stem plants. Also jump over, we got in some of the specialty stuff like cocoa mats, dwarf hairgrass on the cocoa mats, a really good deal at $7. These guys are the old batch, but the new ones sold out the day we got them. The baby tiers. Catch those when they come in early, they look great. Though the ones on the lava rock are actually doing really well. Also have some Taiwan say it right, Taiwanese moss. In the metal racks actually looks good, goes reasonably well that way. I have some floating salvinia. This is what we have inside. We got some growing outside that looks really good. And then we've got Azolla that actually looks good right now. That's been hard this year. I've got some good stuff. And duckweed, always get some of that for you. Really low on Java moss. Got a ton of Naja or guppy grass, looks great. And got in a really nice batch of red root clover. So lots and lots in the plant world right now. And that's it for this quick update video that took a lot longer than I expected, but it always does. Always have a ton of things to show you guys. Hope you enjoyed.